What's going on, guys? So today on this SHOKY Transformers review, we're going to be taking a look at something new, finally, from the Transformers EARTHRISE line. And it is the quote-unquote deluxe Cliffjumper. And I say that because if you've seen this thing, yeah. So obviously this is the packaging in his little plastic prison inside there, and you can see his gun off to the side there. You got Cliffjumper there along with some Cybertronian. I don't know how to read that. So you got the Cartomy, all those things like that. Hasbro, ages 8+. Hey, I'm right in the middle of that. And you got the imaging right here of the Jumper Boy. And you got Deluxe Class, Class A, Deluxe Class, or sorry, hold on, Deluxe Class A, and Class de Lujo. And more Cybertronian down there. Come to the bottom, nothing important. Come to that side, very nice EARTHRISE stuff. Yep. Then you got Cliffy Jumpy. Then you got this is happening. He's coming through a portal, and then you got swoosh is happening right there. Transforms in 18 easy steps. Good for that. Okay then. And then of course if you open it, you get the cool insert from the inside here. Got a nice Autobot logo there. Some really nice artwork and stuff that almost nobody will ever see. You know, little same thing from Seedry there. Some warnings and recycled notifications there. And you got your clear plastic dealy-hoo that, frankly, you don't need to be able to read that says Dead Universe. So if you were to run this everywhere, especially over the red stuff, you could read Dead Universe. Don't know how that works, but yep, there it is. So let's actually take a look at Cliffy. Holy crap, look at that. He's so small. That's the point. This guy is itty bitty. Look how tiny this is. It's a little itty bitty car. Now, this is the first Cliffjumper we've had in a very long time that's remotely close to his actual G1 self, and very similar to the like Porsche 924, 928, whichever particular model he was. Let's see, flip up headlights. I think the 924 might have had the round headlights, depending on the year. Don't recall, but it's very similar to that type of 80s mobile. He's got some nice painted wheels there, painted bumper, no painted taillights, kind of sad, painted exhaust area, totally exposed hands, and then, but definitely not his crotch hanging out the bottom there. And then some, black paint up here for the grill, silver on those little lights, silver down there on the bottom grill for reasons. And then an Autobot tampo right there, and some nice translucent blue windows with a black painted windshield because, right. So this would be a good candidate for some repro labels. Now, just for quick size comparison, actually, let's see if he rolls. He does roll okay, but this is like super smooth surface, so I don't know. Okay, so off camera, yes, he does roll okay. Here he is, next to Siege Blue Streak. Took me a second, couldn't remember his name. So much larger car boy here. And the Porsche is not actually a very small car. So, in fact, it's probably comparable in size to the Nissan that these guys will be. I'm worried that when they come out with the new Datsun Brothers, which they've already shown off, smokescreen, that they're going to downsize them. They already look skinnier than this, and it's basically the same figure. Now let's compare them to the only other EARTHRISE figure I have, and that is the big ol' crane boy here. Safety man McBuild-A thing, and you see there they don't scale whatsoever, so scale doesn't seem to matter. And of course he does have weapons, or well, weapon. Got his big old bazooka, and he can mount this in this mode. I did see in the packaging that you can do this number. Let's see here. Was it like this, or was it, I think it was, hold on, I believe it was a different way. I think it was like this. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. And by the way, these bits here should be silver, and they're black. So that's that. And you can just kind of plug that in there and drive around with a big bazooka on the top of your not Porsche mobile. But that's not the only thing you can do with the weapon here. You can also break it down. And so if you wanted to stick that on the top, you could do that. Break it down again. And if you wanted to, you could stick that on the top of there. They're essentially the same thing, but one has a peg so that you can plug it into the other. Or if you want to be weird, double-ended short bazooka. So that's a thing. However, he does have a more important mode. And you come down here, you unfold this guy. Now you've got two little pegs there and the big peg there. Come to the bottom side, you got two little holes there and a big hole there. And you just line everybody up the best you can. By the way, I'm dealing with some pretty righteous paint fumes in here right now. So you do that number, and now he's kind of wobbly because it's not done yet. Jeez, God, you guys are impatient. So you come in here, and you stick these little guys up under his front wheels, and now you've got his little ski mode thing, which is kind of cool. So you can, so you just imagine he's scooting around, and just for fun, you can even put that guy water skiing behind him. Why can't I think of his name? I don't know. It'll come to me eventually. Sea Spray. Haha. I never remember. But that's not all, everybody, because you still have some pegs there, which means you have to come get these guys. Now there's some slots on the side of the handle, and you just use that. Plug in there. And I don't know if this is meant to be as a weapon or jet thrusters. Either way, looks pretty cool. Not gonna lie, I kind of digs that. But overall, his smallness is more or less the problem. But I will say the details are pretty good. Paint's a little bit sloppy here on the roof. But the molded plastic looks pretty good. They did a decent job of keeping the finish similar across the board. I just wish they had painted even a little bit of amber or yellow for taillights or turn signals up here. Just a little bit of something. So I assume that if we get a repro labels, it's going to give us something along those lines. So let's go ahead and remove all this stuff so we can get him transformed. Come on. I will say that getting this part unplugged is not pleasant. By the way, he does have a big old plug there, so I wonder if you can just like make use of that. I don't know. That's obviously for gun mode. I'm just playing at it. So let's get this out of here. And push the weapons over here off to the side because we don't need those right now. Now, transforming him is fairly simple. However, there's a big elephant in this room, and it's a big hatchback kind of elephant in the room, and it's that this entire back section is a removable piece. And I say that as it won't remove. Oh, I see. It's hung up on the hands. So, giant parts forming bit. That is kind of ridiculous. And then, oh geez, there's not even a way to pull that out, is there? Okay, so we'll figure that out in a little bit. But I am glad to some degree that they didn't make this all translucent and then try to paint it, although to me it would make more sense to match it up to the translucent windows on the front. So you're going to want repro labels down the line to go ahead and match all that up. Now let's see if I can remember how this goes. Okay, so the arms are a part of this. That's pegged into there. So you just want to kind of undo that, I think. I only transformed him the once. I should have paid more attention in class. When in doubt, grab the spudger, which might actually be the reason why I can't go anywhere. It's just stuck. So this actually tabs around that. There we go. I'm sure that's totally not correct way to do that, but, you know, it's how I figured out how to do it. There we go. So it's kind of not easy to kind of crack that apart. You got to come down to the legs and all this. Separate that. Make sure you have the wheel folded. Yeah, folded back. Sorry, I was looking at it sideways. Fold that back and then do that number. So in some ways, this has like a tiny MP feel to it, which is weird. And then fold that in there. Got some plastic shavings falling on me there. And he does have his own head up his butt here, so he's going to have to unfold that, unfold that, and then we want to rotate. Now, it's interesting. It's not rotating at the hip. It's rotating up at the top. Just weird. I'm going to fold that in because, heaven forbid, you know that he's a thing. Head reveal time. Okay. Bring this up. That'll sort of tab into there. And then rotate the arms down and around. I don't know who's making so much noise outside. Fix the feet, and there we go. There's our little bitty Cliffy boy. And while he looks good, he's tiny. Now, he's not technically complete because you're supposed to grab this and stick that in there, except for the fact that that handle is really kind of back in there. In fact, I don't know how you're supposed to retrieve that. It's like, it's sort of stuck in there. I'm scared I'm going to have to do some like kind of black voodoo magic to get it out. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I got that back. It's dusty. So basically, there was a very tiny, like slit there, like, you know, just the way they cut it off the runner, and just had to kind of make do with that. Now you basically just want to cram that in there and do that number. Is that right? Like that? Or does it go the other way? Now I'm doubting myself because I don't remember. I've only done this once. I mean, that makes way more sense, but I don't know. I want to look it up because I feel like I've got him wrong. Nope, that's right. I'm just stupid. So, I mean, the overall look looks fine. I've only had one Cliffjumper before, and that was the old War for Cybertron or Fall of Cybertron version, which is just a Bumblebee repaint. But I like the transformation and stuff, but man, there's just not much to this guy. I mean, you can give him a couple of individual guns here. And then, of course, if you're like the bluish points, those exist. There's a big tab here, but I'm not sure what exactly that's supposed to tab into, if anything. But you can set that back there if you want to. I guess you could make this a gun in and of itself, sort of, because you can hold that peg like that. I don't know. That's just weird. It's all weird, fellas. It's all weird. Okay, so we want this out front. I may have had this actually assembled incorrectly before. So let's put that out front. And we can insert that. See, that's round, like something that should go in there. Maybe I'm missing something? Or maybe no? Because look, I've got two slots there. What does that do? I'm interested now. Okay, so that's got to go at the back. That's got to go in the middle. I'm just trying to make a big ass bazooka, guys. I know, I'm just playing around at this point. Then you have what I guess is meant to be a tripod. If you're gonna lay him down. So it'd be like that. It's a pretty hefty weapon. So I mean, like, you can hold it like that or just flat out over one shoulder. It's fine. He's just wonky. Now, as for articulation, the elbow, just going to point that out. The elbow does go both ways. And it does rotate at the bicep. The head just sort of rotates. By the way, nice blue painted eyes. Pretty good. Silver painted face, at least to the best of their ability. Personally, I think it looks funny that he doesn't have a big, like, Autobot logo on his chest, though he probably isn't supposed to. And he does rotate here at the waist, but really that's all the way up inside there. I mean, like I said, he's okay, but man, He's still got the giant ski feet. There's just almost no good way around that. That's just a design of the character, just how he be. I do wish. Do the hands rotate? Yeah, the hands must rotate. Yeah, it does. Okay, so he can. In theory, he can try to dual hand this to some degree, at least. That's pretty cool. Actually, I might do that. I think it looked like they were showing it at one point with him holding it like this, like over his shoulder, which is kind of cool. Not gonna lie. I'm not a big fan of bazookas in general, but like if you can rock it, rock it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you can do that. Just kind of cool. And I guess if you really want to get crazy, you can plug this guy back here and he just can just do the thing. Just boof. That's honestly ridiculous, and I'm glad I saw that. Okay, so that's enough of playing with the gun. Let's just do the thing. We're all here to see. We want to see comparisons, and we want to know why somebody this squat, so to speak, costs so much. So let's go all the way back to like good old, what I think was Titan's Return, Sea Spray. This is a Legends scale. Almost the exact same height. Almost the exact same height. That's kind of ridiculous. Now we have a Siege Small Deluxe here with our friend here. He's still significantly taller, like a good inch taller than Cliffjumper. And then he falls over there. All right. And here he is with Blue Streak. I'm still trying to get his feet squared up. So, I mean, he's still tiny compared to some of the other Arc bots. And then next to an EARTHRISE Voyager, who he's significantly smaller than. I mean, half the size. But this guy was kind of worth the money. This little guy, not so much. And I think that is incredibly indicative. Oops. I have to fetch that. That's incredibly indicative of the new Siege sizes. Deluxes are kind of deluxes. Voyagers are pretty good at Voyagers, but then like they don't have a Legends class anymore, and I think that's really hurting things, to be totally honest. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna run that. There we go. That actually makes way more sense. Let's just do that. I don't even know if you're supposed to do that, but it works. So they didn't bother to put him in a smaller size class. Now I get that he definitely couldn't be one of like microbots or minibots, or whatever the heck they're called now, micromasters. He definitely couldn't be that. He needed to be a real thing. But like this would have been like the opportunity to bring back the Legend scale, because we're gonna get a Bumblebee. We already know we are, and he's gonna be this but remolded. And like things like RC, or like RC and him both have these huge pieces that are basically just parts forming, because I couldn't figure out what to do with it. It's like it was too small to really be able to hide a lot of the bulk. Like this part was fine, but what were you going to do with this? I mean, aside from, you know, putting it on a big hinge and wrapping it around or something, obviously this all turns around. But, and yeah, you could say, oh, it's a shield. Look, it's a shield, guys. You can use his own butt as a shield, which, you know, whoop-de-doo, who cares? But even given a really big accessory, like something that's even bigger than you get with something like a Voyager class, or yeah, it's just like, this was way too much money. This guy should have been $10. Even with all of this, should have been $10, not 25, not even 20, 15 max. Definitely not what they're charging for it. And it's just very indicative of the new problem. Like, Sure, you can say Hasbro's giving us better quality. I guess to some degree they are. It's not untrue, but also it's just like I want to get what I'm paying for. And I feel like this one just doesn't do that. Not like a lot of the other ones. While he's good, he's not $25 good. Not for his size. But let me know what you think. Is it a worthy entry in the Cliffjumper Club? I think that part is true. But is it worth your dime? I don't know. But give me a big old thumbs up, guys. Go check out the rest of the Transformers playlists and stuff. And, of course, if you need to, check out the MS100 contest down there in the description. And, of course, check out the SHOKY merch store. And I am working on a couple of side things just for the fun of it. And hopefully I can get those little projects out soon. But I'll catch you guys on the next review. And remember, as always, to keep on transforming. Whatever.